Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm DSP, Darkside Phil, or, in real life, Phil Brunel, and welcome to the State of DSP. It's actually late summer of 2016. We're winding things up here. We're about to hit the busy gaming season of the year, and what I wanted to do with all of my viewers, and especially people who like the more personal side of me, a lot of the people who follow me here on the King of Hate vlogs and like to hear things like my opinions and things about me that don't have to necessarily do with just me playing games and giving my opinions on them, I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about how things are going with myself and my business here, in Washington State where I live, and give you kind of a status update, alright? Now, yes, every once in a while I'll mention this kind of stuff on a pre-stream before I do gaming during a gameplay day or something like that, or maybe in a weekend preview video, but the bottom line is, I don't really have a venue anymore where I can talk about this kind of stuff. I used to, for like 2+ years, talk about it on my Hate Live podcast, but I don't do that podcast anymore. That was actually one of the changes that I'm going to mention that happened this year, so I don't have a venue to at length discuss this kind of stuff with you, the viewers, anymore. And before that used to be like channel update videos, which have been long gone. I haven't done a channel update in some, 3 or 4 years, so in that regard, I figured now is a good opportunity before we get busy with all the new releases for the year for me to give you an update. Now, if you're just a casual viewer, you don't care about the behind-the-scenes stuff of me making videos on YouTube, or if you are only the person that's kind of into gameplay and game footage and game reviews, and you don't care about the more personal side, skip the video. It's that simple. This is my vlogging channel. That's why I've chosen to put this video on the vlogging channel, so that people who don't care about this kind of stuff and are only there for the daily streams or the on-demand videos or the game reviews or whatever don't have to be bothered with it, alright? So, the bottom line is, I wanted to talk about this stuff. I'm taking a few minutes tonight to do it, so here we go. So, first off, let's talk a little bit about what happened last year. For those of you who maybe weren't around back then, who knows? I know that I get new viewership all the time. It's almost like kind of a revolving door. There's people that leave and move on. There's people that come in and start watching for the first time. So for those of you who aren't in the know, let me explain to you what happened last year that forced me to kind of change up the way that I did stuff on YouTube, and explain the changes that have happened in this year as of up to now in 2016. I used to play a lot more games. I used to do a lot more streaming when it came to games and raw gameplay. But what ended up happening in 2015 was a combination of factors. Alright, first off, I think we can all collectively say, just looking at empirical evidence here on YouTube, that raw gameplay, raw streaming, without editing, without any kind of cutting out certain boring parts and making it look more like an edited comedy show rather than a playthrough, or a live gameplay stream that doesn't have tons of live interaction with the stream because you're focusing on the game. This stuff is not mainstream popular anymore on YouTube. There was a time when it was. When I started on YouTube, it absolutely was, and now it is not. People have now almost been conditioned to feel that just because someone edited their gameplay and took out maybe some of the fails and some of the boring parts, but instead added in some jokes and scripted stuff, that it's already better. And I completely disagree. I've never done that with my gameplay, and I never will. I don't like that style. My catch since day one when I started on YouTube is that when you watch one of my videos, it feels like you're right here sitting next to me while I'm playing a game. You get my live reactions, my live commentary to everything that's going on in a game, whether it's I'm loving the game and I'm kissing its butt and I'm going crazy and having fun, or I'm really hating the game and I'm slamming it and I'm, complaining, but I'm also doing jokes and stuff about it. That's the point of my gameplay. You will get a raw but truthful gameplay experience when you watch my videos. You're not going to get a paid advertisement for the game, because I'll never do that. You'll never get an edited video that's done just for comedy purposes that will make a game look better or worse than it really is. You're going to get the actual truth about that game. That's my style. That's what I've always done and what I've prided myself here on YouTube doing. But it's not mainstream popular anymore. As I said, people are just conditioned to look for that other stuff for whatever reason. So I saw that last year. I saw, since I moved to Washington in 2014, and over the course of about the first half of last year, I saw that things were kind of going a little bit down. I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But then, in the middle and then late 2015, I got hit with a ton of fake copyright strikes on YouTube. And unfortunately, these copyright strikes literally crippled me financially for a few months because they forced me to delete hundreds. I think it was around something like 600 pre-stream videos where I used to run fan art and stuff like that on the pre-streams. And all of those had to be deleted because these kids basically had found a way to abuse YouTube's copyright system and false flag all those videos. YouTube being so fucking stupid basically said, oh, well, guilty until proven innocent, and gave me multiple copyright strikes against all of my YouTube channels. So I couldn't chance the channels getting shut down, so I had to delete all of these videos. And by the way, that was the advice of both YouTube and Machinima when I consulted them about what I should be doing, so I had to do all that. But the problem was when I deleted those hundreds of videos, the total views of my channels dropped by millions. And when YouTube sees a YouTube channel drop by millions of views, it thinks, oh my god, something's wrong. This YouTube channel is in like, it's on like life support. Something's either they did something malicious or wrong and that's why they've lost views. And they literally pull that channel from YouTube rankings. So what ended up happening was all of my YouTube channels for the last half of 2015, excuse me, were pulled from YouTube search. So the busiest gaming time of the year, when everyone's playing the big new releases, my videos didn't show up in YouTube search. So everyone, oh, I want to see Metal Gear Solid 5. I didn't show up. Oh, maybe I'll check out this, this other hot new game. I didn't show up. So literally for probably about 4 to 5 months, starting in September of 2015 through early 2016, I lost big money that normally I would have coming in just from people naturally searching for a game on YouTube. Oh, a raw playthrough, let's check it out, and they'd come watch. I got none of that, and it really concretely hurt me really, really badly, all right? To the point, and I won't go too much into detail, but to the point where I had to take out loans, I had to rack up credit cards, I had to do a lot of things that I did not want to do because I already was in debt from moving across the country in mid-2014, and my debt went way up because of this loss of revenue, and it was just the only thing I could do. I had to pay my bills, I had to stay afloat, and I didn't have the income to pay them anymore, so I had to take out all these loans and credit and all of this that I didn't want to do, okay? Now, in combination with all of that, as if like when it rains, it pours, right? At the very end of 2015, Machinima, my longtime YouTube partnership company that allows me to put advertisements on my gameplay videos and protects me from all kinds of bullshit on YouTube, they contacted me and said, we're really sorry, Phil, but your contract that you've had with us for a long time is no longer viable. You know, I used to have a contract that was based off of YouTube views. So if you just watched my video, I got paid a certain amount. They said, we don't have those contracts anymore, and we've been told by even our accounting, our finance department, they're not viable, they don't make money, they don't even cover each other cost-wise. So I was losing Machinima money for some amount of years that I was still under this contract, so they had to renegotiate me into a still pretty ridiculously fair contract, to which point I didn't want to leave Machinima, but basically it meant I was going to lose a lot more money. And trust me, I looked out there, I talked with 3 different other companies to see what else was out there and what they were offering. And even though people tend to talk shit about Machinima all the time, I can confirm with you that the contract I'm with Machinima right now is way better than anything anyone else is offering, period, out there. It's actually that ridiculously fair in my favor that I would be an idiot to leave Machinima and their partnership, all right? Especially with all the tools and things that they do to help me, and the fact that I mean, all the music I put in my edited videos, Machinima gives to me for free. All the help that I need with YouTube issues, or if I get a false copyright strike, the reason it gets cleared up more quickly is because Machinima has my back. I'd be an idiot to not be with Machinima anymore, okay? And, in fact, because of a direct result of all this negativity, right? I had copyright strikes taking money out of my pocket, a new contract that means I was going to get paid less. I had a lot of uncertainty, and I said, I think I want to develop a new plan for the year of 2016, and I worked with Machinima, and they worked with me to allow this plan to launch properly the way that I wanted it to. So now let's get to that. So because of all this, I knew, you know, decreasing views on my raw gameplay and streams, less money being made because the copyright strikes took me out of YouTube search, and a contract that was going to pay me less regardless, no matter how well I did, I was going to be making less money. I knew something had to change in 2016 if I was going to remain afloat. It's just, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It had to happen, or else I wasn't going to be able to do this full-time anymore, period. It was going to be the end of me doing YouTube. Now, I might have been able to do it part-time, but good luck trying to juggle YouTube now with a part-time job, especially with the fact the job market in the United States still isn't good, no matter what you hear and what everyone's, oh, it's great. Yeah, if I want to go work and flip burgers for $7 an hour, I can get a job. But good luck getting any kind of a job that's going to pay me anywhere equivalent to what I've been making on YouTube, or even the job that I had before YouTube. It's not going to happen. All right, and that's the bottom line. America is not in good position with jobs right now, regardless of what the government tells us and all that. They're full of shit. The jobs that are out there are low-paying, minimum wage, not enough to even pay your own fucking bills jobs. That's what's available, and that's not a good economy. That's a shit economy. All the good jobs have been outsourced, and that's a major problem that our government refuses to address. But I digress. I knew something was going to have to happen if I wanted to keep doing this. So I sat down seriously. I looked inside myself at my own capabilities, and I looked at the market. I looked out at YouTube, what was popular on YouTube. I said, here's what I'm going to do. And I announced this late last year, right? Right here, the video on DSP, or excuse me, on the King of Hate vlogs. A three-pronged plan. 3 prongs. I was going to have 3 channels on YouTube, all of which would have completely different styles of content. This channel, the King of Hate vlogs, would be for this kind of video, where I sit here and I talk with you, whether it's about pop culture, whether it's about gaming and gaming news, whether it's my series like DSP Tries It, where I review food or other items, whether it's like Ask the King, where I answer your questions. This was going to be the go-to channel for that kind of interaction, all right? And I think I've stuck to that, okay? DSP Gaming was now going to be just for gameplay. You wouldn't see other styles of videos crammed in there, and it was just going to be live streams and on-demand gameplay videos, period. And therefore, people will know, oh, Phil's going to review a game. You don't have to worry about sifting through the 200 gameplay videos that I put out on DSP Gaming this week to find it. The review will be somewhere else. Oh, you want to hear about what's coming up for this week? You don't have to sift through all those videos on DSP Gaming. You can come right here to the King of Hate vlogs and watch the week in preview. All right, so that was a major change, because people were always used to going to DSP Gaming for things like E3 coverage, year-end series, all my reviews, everything, and now it was completely different. So I had to explain that, and it took a while, but I think people finally got the message. And then the third biggest change, the new channel that I created with the help of Machinima, getting it partnered under a managed partnership and a pretty decent contract as well, KO Gaming. This is a channel where I do edited content, anything that I'm going to do editing for video editing, all right, including countdowns, montages, first impressions videos, full in-depth game reviews covering as much information about a game from my own personal experience as I can, as well as some other projects here and there like retrospectives and stuff. I've done a lot of different kinds of stuff on the channel since early 2016, now that it's the end of the summer, okay? And that channel is, by the way, youtube.com/KO Gaming 1. If you haven't ever checked it out yet, I recommend you do, especially if you're not into raw gameplay. You're going to see that channel is completely the opposite of what that is, all right? So, 3 prongs, 3 channels, and my goal, one of the major changes that I was going to make for this year was that it wasn't going to be all about games anymore and gameplay and constantly gaming. Because the bottom line is, since I started on YouTube in 2008, it was, I got to play a game. Okay, I got to play this game. Got to rush through it, finish it so I can get to the next game. Let's play the next game. Gameplay. Get those gameplay videos out. And it was always about just getting the gameplay videos out rather than anything else. And a few things happened. I think, number 1, people got tired of me trying to rush through games to beat them within a certain amount of time. They wanted to see me take my time and enjoy a certain style of game rather than rushing through it and skipping a whole bunch of content. Number 2, people got tired of me constantly just doing gameplay. They wanted to see other sides of me. I want to see Phil really nicely, high-quality review the game rather than just play through the next one. You know, I want to see Phil do a vlog about a different topic from time to time rather than just rushing to another game. And I think that's what the problem was, is that I became so hyper-focused on gameplay, that people who got turned off to the raw gameplay, that was it. And that a lot of people who originally were interested in me got turned off and left over the years. So what this meant was going from a schedule where I used to live stream, you know, at one point, 5, 6, 7 hours a day, going down to maybe 3 to 3.5 hours for a first stream. And if I was going to do additional streaming, it would do maybe another hour and a half to 2 hours later at night. But mostly, instead of just streaming all the time and doing raw gameplay, taking time to work on these other projects like vlogs and edited style videos. And that was a big change for me, because I never, in my entirety of my existence on YouTube since 2008, I had never taken the time to necessarily split my time to try to focus on multiple efforts. It was all about whatever the new game is, and then if I have time outside of the new game, then I'll do this other thing as a funny thing to fill up time. But that was the thing, the difference here. People wanted to see something different, and I realized, you know, that people want to see the more edited stuff. They like vlogs about topics. They like this kind of stuff, and that's what they wanted to see, not just the raw gameplay, all right? And then the third change, which I think was a big one, and I think with a few little missteps here or there this year, I think that I've actually very much been able to stick up to my word about this one, to stay out of negativity whenever it was possible and reasonable. Not just pick fights and start fights with certain groups, with certain people, to focus only on the negative. Oh no, if a certain playthrough isn't doing great views-wise, don't harp about it for weeks on end. Instead, just focus on, okay, let's get through it and go to the next and be positive and happy. And the bottom line is, for the most part, it's been a great experience in 2016. In fact, I will go on record. I'm going to be honest with everyone. 2016 is the best year that I've been on YouTube in at least 3 years. I can tell you right now that the years of kind of late 2013, 2014, 2015, there was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of negativity about stuff going on, and I don't feel like any of that's been around this year. In fact, some things happened this year, let's face it, that could have destroyed me on YouTube. Can you name a YouTuber, right, who could have some of the things that happened to me this year and just instantly recover from it like I did? And I think the reason that I was able to was because I stayed positive. I didn't get angry. I didn't lie. I didn't stomp my feet. I didn't attack people. Instead, I just kind of said, whatever, shit happens. Let's keep on moving. You know, I'm not going to tell you how many times this year people sent me a video or sent me a clip on Twitter. Phil, did you hear this guy said this about you? Did you hear this guy shit on you? Did you hear what this guy said about you at this event? And you know what I said? I don't fucking care. I don't care what anyone outside of my viewership watching my videos directly says about me. I don't care if another YouTuber who doesn't really watch my shit heard through the grapevine that DSP's a bad YouTuber and talks shit about me. Who the fuck gives a crap? That doesn't affect anything whatsoever, because the bottom line is those people weren't gonna watch me anyway. I'm so different from most other mainstream YouTubers, I'm not gonna attract that audience. Alright? I'm so different at this point. It's funny because I started as one of the big gaming YouTubers, and over the years, look how YouTube has changed that now I'm not even what's in popular anymore, but I'm still here, and I'm happy with what I got. So I'm not going to focus on the negative. I'm going to focus on the positive, that every day when I sit down and I start live streaming, people are showing up to watch me play games, no matter what game it is. That when I'm doing all this stuff, that people are here to watch and be entertained, but also be informed, and people like and appreciate what I'm doing. Why would I be fucking upset that one person said something stupid? I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit anymore. And that's the thing. Like, I've really tried to have that attitude. And I know there were a few missteps this year. I 100% agree. But for the most part, I think I've managed to stay the fuck out of that bullshit. That bullshit zone, okay? So, less drama, more fun, and more enjoying gaming together than anything else. That's been my focus this year, okay? Now, let's talk specifically about those changes and how they've affected and what's been positive, what's been negative, what's worked and what hasn't, all right? Then I'm going to give you an overall view of how I'm doing, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the future, what I'm planning to do in the future, because there's been some questions, rumors, and things stirring that I want to clear up, okay? So let's talk about the changes specifically. First of all, let's talk about this channel, the King of Hate Vlog, since this is the channel that we're on right now, right? As I said, no more podcast. Hate Live was abolished. Because I said, if I want to talk about topics like gaming news or something in pop culture or anything, I would rather do a one-off vlog on that subject rather than doing a 2.5-hour, podcast show where I cover all of those topics. But now it's all conglomerated into one video, so people don't know specifically when they're searching on YouTube that I ever even talked about it, right? You know, if I'm going to talk about a movie, something that happened with me during the week, a game, and gaming news all in one video, how the hell do you know that that's in the video unless you actively go to the channel, look at the description of the video, look at everything there? You don't. Making individual videos about it is actually a better idea overall. So that's what I did this year on the King of Hate Vlogs. I started making individual videos for topics. For example, I started talking about things that normally I wouldn't talk about. The announcement about PlayStation VR and what it was going to come with and its pricing and my opinions on that. You know, when Final Fantasy 15 was rumored to be delayed, I talked about that. When the big YouTube scandals hit, you had the Tobuscus scandal and then the PewDiePie drama, I talked about that. I gave my opinions on those subjects. But movies, I saw a bunch of movies this year, which I never do movie reviews, right? But I talked about Batman vs. Superman. I talked about Captain America Civil War. And a few other things that I kind of had impressions on based off of seeing kind of trailers and stuff from other movies. And then other stuff too. There was other gaming news and stuff that I talked about, all in vlogs. And I make it's basically a reaction series where I react to all this stuff going on around me, and I talk about it. So I'll be honest with everyone. Did it explode? Did it become super popular, this change of format? No. But did it tank? Did it do horribly and no one cares? No. It just kind of is doing okay, decently. The videos when I do these usually typically come in between anywhere from 5,000 to 15,000 views, sometimes even higher than that, depending on the subject. But that's kind of the average range, which is fine. If I'm going to sit here and talk for half an hour about something, do I need to have 500,000 views to care that people, you know, are watching it? No. It's okay. That's a good, decent amount in my opinion, especially because if it adds to the variety of the channel and it gets more people interested in the stuff that I'm doing in vlogging, then it makes sense, okay? Now, have I seen any leaps and bounds giant growth here on The King of Hate Vlogs this year? Well, no. Because let's face it, what have I done on this channel? I continued to do shows like Ask the King, DSP Tries It. I kept unboxing my loot crates. I kept doing the weekend preview, the weekly, schedule series for what I do here. Every once in a while, like I went to Seattle, I had vacation vlogs, so that was something different for the channel. And you know, this new reaction series, that's really what's comprised this channel. That's really what you see when you come to the King of Hate Vlogs. So when 90% of the content on the channel is the same that used to be in the channel, I'm not expecting huge growth or anything like that. But I am overall pleased. I'll put it this way. It's not a great increase. It's not a great decline. It's just kind of okay. It's kind of coasting. It's doing good. So at least it's serving its purpose here. I'm able to share my opinions on different subjects with you, and it gets pretty decent attention when I do so. All right? So I'm happy about that. Overall, I'd say King of Hate Vlogs, is it a big thumbs up? No, but I'll give it a minor thumbs up. It's doing pretty good this year from what I can see. It's not, definitely hasn't like trailed off or anything like that. It's about the same as it's always done. Now let's talk about DSP Gaming. Now this channel was the channel that pretty much had the biggest changes because now DSP Gaming didn't have any kind of informational updates whatsoever on the channel at all. Instead, it just became raw streaming, raw gameplay. Here's what I've seen, quite honestly, over the course of this year so far on DSP Gaming. If there's a hot new game, a new release that everyone's waiting for, boop, viewership goes up, stream attendance goes up, the videos do pretty decently in views, and then directly dependent on how good or bad or entertaining that game is, the series will either continuously stay at a level that's good or it will go down over time. And it all depends because that's the bottom line. Unlike these other YouTubers who are taking whatever game they're playing and making an entertainment series with edited stuff, my video quality is going to be based off of how I enjoy the game. If I'm really liking the game, then you're probably going to like the playthrough. If the game isn't so good, you're probably going to watch a few videos, realize the game's bad, and then get the tail out of there, unless it's so entertaining because it's so bad it's good. And a good example of that would be Sonic 2006, where everyone knows the game was bad, but because everyone knew the game was bad, that was the purpose of me playing it, the playthrough ended up being good, and overall, most people who started watching that playthrough ended up watching it to the end because of that. So that's the difference here, okay? So really, new games come out, boop, a big spike. No games or dead time, perfect example for this, was late June through July and even the first half of August. There really hasn't been any real kind of releases coming out, and boo, it goes down, all right? And that's to be expected in this kind of industry. In this industry where my content is based off of what's being released with games, you're going to have highs, you're going to have lows. Now, the good news is the industry is the biggest booming fucking entertainment industry on planet Earth. Gaming is more profitable and more money-making than anything else. Movies, television, anything. Music, anything. And because of that, it's hot. So me covering the games, even though I have really dead months, it evens out with those really good months. So let me give you some perspective here. When we started out in early 2016, January was dead. There was no new games. I was doing downtime stuff. And I'm not even exaggerating, the worst month ever on YouTube. My views were way down. There was just nothing happening when it came to gameplay. And even the downtime stuff I tried to play, people were like, yeah, there's no new stuff. I'll check out Phil next month when there's new games. And it went, okay. February, to some extent. It was a slow recovery from that, but it was still kind of slow. Yes, in February, you did have games such as the release of Street Fighter V, which, by the way, was a dud on release, right? You did have games like Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2, Far Cry Primal, Firewatch, Mighty No. 9. But ultimately, there were no, oh my god, amazing jaw-dropping games in February. It was just kind of an okay month for gaming. And, not surprisingly, being that it was just kind of an okay month, I recovered a little bit from January, but kind of was still kind of in there like, it's okay. March, now, think about this. The Twilight Princess HD remake, okay. The new Hitman game released, UFC 2, Pokken Tournament, Fallout had its first major DLC, The Walking Dead Michonne, but I also paired in with that the beginning of playthroughs like Persona 3, so finally you're starting to see a little bit of cool, entertaining, interesting stuff. And by the way, in late March, I was able to play Dark Souls 3 early. So there you go. So then I got a big spike, and next thing you know, wow. So I went really bad in January, going slightly up in February, now I'm really starting to go up in March, okay? And it just kept building. April, with a ton of new games and releases that came out in April, and I covered them all, right? And then in May, it blew up. And I'm going to tell you why in a moment, but it really has nothing to do with DSP Gaming. So, in May, overall, my business blew up. We'll talk about that in a moment. But anyway, DSP Gaming, again, covering everything in May and June, was kind of pretty good, liking it. And then, in July, nothing, because there was nothing going on in July. No real new games. It was me doing downtime stuff. So the hardcore viewers stuck around. Everyone else said, well, we'll come back when there's new releases. And that's what happened. Right now in August so far, I can at least tell you this, DSP Gaming is doing much better than it did in July. Overall, way better, but I think that's because there were a few releases, like the new Batman game. I played Sonic 06, and No Man's Sky. People wanted to see, at least for the first few videos, what was that game like. I think that gave me a little bit of interest that normally I wouldn't have on DSP Gaming, alright? So, overall, it's up and down. It was low early in the year, kind of went up middle of the year, and then kind of went down again. So now we're starting the hardcore gaming season. We're starting the season where all the new big hot games are going to be coming out. I fully expect you're going to see it start to go up and up and up and up again all the way till the end of the year, because this year in particular has a great end year lineup with games such as Watch Dogs 2, Pokken Sun and Moon, Final Fantasy 15, which was just delayed till late November. Then you got South Park, The Fractured But Whole. You've got Dead Rising 4, and I think there's actually one or two other things all mixed in till the end of the year. It's going to be a crazy busy end of the year for gaming. So I really expect at the end of the year it's going to go up. And the good thing is, because of the new kind of contract that I'm with Machinima now, that's good, because the end of the year is when ad revenues on YouTube are at their highest. Because, of course, every company's trying to sell their products for Christmas. So if people are coming out and watching my gameplay and stuff and live streaming at the end of the year with all the new games, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to, woo, probably through the roof, whoop. So we'll see, because the first year I've ever been under that kind of contract at the end of the year. We'll see for ourselves how it works, but I think it's going to be pretty good, okay? So that's DSP Gaming. That's how it's done this year. Now let's talk about KO Gaming, the new channel. The channel where everything I do there is an edited video. It's got, you know, a lot of polish and a lot of work and effort put into it, a lot of production value, okay? I'm going to be completely and utterly honest with everyone here. The beginning of this year was a huge disappointment for me for KO Gaming, because I was putting in a lot of time and effort. Remember, staying away from streaming all the time. I used to stream, you know, 3-4 hours and then another 2-3 hours every day, and instead I was cutting out that second stream to every night work on edited content. And I remember the first things that I was doing, I did edited style game reviews, so really in-depth game reviews with the direct capture footage from DSP Gaming with voiceovers and text and transitions and all this stuff that I never really had done previously in videos before. I did Hits of the Week, where I was doing a montage of the best stuff that happened in the games that I played during the course of the week, the funniest moments and stuff like that. And I was doing a few other things as well, different stuff that normally I wouldn't do. And I'll be honest, completely honest with everyone, I was very disappointed, because the videos were getting like 5,000 views a piece. Now you may say, well, 5,000 views, you just said that that's okay for a vlog video over on the King of Hay Vlogs. True, because when I sit down to make a video like this on the King of Hay Vlogs, look, there's no editing. I'm just sitting here, I talk, I upload it, I'm done. These videos I was doing for KO Gaming had a tremendous amount of time, and some of those videos were taking upwards of 8 hours of work. So you're talking sitting down, going through all the gameplay videos that I recorded during the week, picking out all the funny moments, then trying to get them all into a coherent thing so you can edit it together into a video, then putting in music and transitions and titles and all of that, adding in humor and jokes, and then finally getting the video out, and then after like 2 weeks it has 5,000 views. And you're like, what the hell? Like, I was putting so much effort into the videos on KO Gaming and not getting even as much as a standard playthrough video in a lot of cases. And like, I could have put out, you know, 45 playthrough videos in the time it took me to make this one freaking video. It's not business-wise, it's not making sense for me to continue that. So in fact, one of the things I started out on KO Gaming was called the Hits of the Week. I discontinued it because it was the most time-consuming thing, excuse me, I was doing on that channel, and pretty much after 3 or 4 videos, no one cared anymore. And it was just going down. It was actually going down. It was a downward trend of views. And I said, then why am I going to bother? It's not going to be lucrative, and it's not going to be worth my time. I have to keep the business afloat, so I have to do other stuff. So I did start working on other stuff. I started trying to review games a little bit more often and stuff like that. But the important note here is I didn't give up. Even though the rocky start of KO Gaming, I'd say anywhere from, you know, February, March, and even into April, I didn't give up. I stuck at it. I kept reviewing. And even though the videos weren't getting, like, great views, I said, I got to keep at it because maybe this will be an organic thing where if I really do dedicate myself and I keep taking the time away from the DSP gaming stuff and I work on this edited stuff, it'll pay off. Boy, am I fucking glad that I listened. Boy, am I glad that I listened to myself and took that advice because, honestly, I could see things being in a very different situation right now if I hadn't done what I did. Because let me explain what happened for those who don't know. May came around. Now, May was a month with a lot of games that were releasing. I'll give you an example of a few. Battleborn, Overwatch, Uncharted 4, Doom, Homefront the Revolution, the Fallout DLC Far Harbor, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that new game, amongst a few others, okay? These games were games, besides maybe Uncharted 4, these were games that people really wanted to hear people's opinions on before they spent their money. Because who knows, Homefront the Revolution, Homefront is a game from what, 5 years ago? 6 years ago? Who knows if this semi-sequel would actually be a good game, right? Doom, we haven't seen an official installment of Doom in like 10 plus years. Of course, you need to know from someone who's trustworthy whether or not this game's going to be worth playing or not. You don't want to just run out and spend 60 bucks and get it done. So there were a lot of games in May that people were actively searching on YouTube for people's reviews and opinions and stuff on before they went and spent their money. I keep plugging away, right? I'm still plugging away on the videos and stuff that I'm putting out for KO Gaming, and I took some advice. Some people came to me and said, Phil, I think the reason that some of the stuff that you put out on KO Gaming isn't attractive is, number one, your thumbnails suck. Your thumbnails look absolutely terrible. They're generic. And number two, because you don't have anything to catch someone's attention. If you're going to put out a review, give some kind at least of information or something catching in the title so that when people want to figure out, is this the review I want to read, they're going to have some, not just Doom review. Or you could say, one hell of a reboot, the Doom official game review. See the difference? By just adding that little bit of pizzazz to the title and adding a better thumbnail, it can attract more viewers. And in reality, the very first review where I did this, because I was so filled with rage after playing the game, I hated this fucking game and wanted to get it off my chest, was Homefront the Revolution. And I made about a 20-minute video telling you about why this was a broken piece of shit on the PlayStation 4, a complete and utter disgrace, a ripoff, why the game developers should be fucking ashamed and no one should spend their money on this game ever. And, you know, yes, it had an attractive title. I said it was the worst game I've ever played for YouTube, because it really was. That was the biggest excuse for a $60 game I'd ever played on YouTube up to that point. That video, alright, from all the videos on KO Gaming, which typically were getting at that point, maybe between 5,000 to the top video had like 15,000 views. That video went viral on YouTube. Why did it go viral? Well, number one, because it had an attractive title. Number two, because of the thumbnail. But number three, because guess what? KO Gaming is a new channel, and it's not affected like DSP Gaming is. It still shows up in YouTube search results. If I put that video on DSP Gaming, would have never went viral and would have never shown up anywhere. But because it was on a new channel, it showed up in the YouTube search, and that video, within 3 weeks, became the most viewed video on Homefront: The Revolution on all of YouTube. As of today, I think the video has like 912,000 views, almost a million views. It went completely fucking viral. Now, what happened was, when a video goes viral on YouTube, you get a bunch of different audiences. You get people who watch it and they're like, I don't know what this is. They click on it just because it's popular. All right, whatever. They never go back. You get people who actually click on it and watch it and say, wow, I like this. This is great. Then you get idiots who watch it and say, I hate this guy. I'm going to fucking shit all over everything he ever does from it forevermore. And that's the kind of 3 groups that you get on YouTube. The good news is, because this video went viral, all right, I got a ton of new subscribers and a ridiculous ton of new views on KO Gaming. In a few weeks' time, KO Gaming went from a channel that had like maybe 5,000, 6,000 subscribers to a channel that had like 17,000, 18,000 subscribers to a channel where the videos were getting, what, 5,000 views a video? Now they were getting 15, 20, 30,000 views on a video. All right, that's a big difference. So here's the difference. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to work on a video for 6 hours of editing, and it gets 30, 40,000 views, okay. I mean, just that video alone, to give you guys some perspective, I can't reveal the exact metrics of my contract with Machinima. Just the review alone pays for the cost of the game. So even if the playthrough was terrible and no one watched it, the review covers the cost of the game. So I have nothing to worry about buying a game that may be bad if I know the cost of the review is going to cover it. And then any kind of, you know, views that I get on the playthrough ends up being profit in my pocket so I can keep running the business. So that's awesome. And that's what I needed. I needed that kind of confidence and boost to say, wow, I have more freedom now in what I do. Because I know when I make an edited review or video about a game, it's going to cover the cost of the game. So now I can go off and play other games and do whatever. You know, and I can have, with confidence, say, I don't know about this game, I'm on the fence, but I'll buy it and play it, and I'll expose it if it's bad, or I'll say, wow, it's a sleeper hit, and I'll tell you about it, and people will appreciate it. And things completely flipped. Seriously, like, I went from not knowing what was going to happen this year to being incredibly confident. And I am right now. I'm confident because KO Gaming is doing really well. And I'll give you some perspective here. Some videos still don't do that well. If I do a video that's a one-off that really isn't a game review or anything that's new or hot or popular, it'll get anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 views. For example, I just did a video last week, Sonic 2006 retrospective, okay? Talking all about my experiences playing Sonic 2006, doing a playthrough of it and all of that. Right now, I think it's got about 7,000 views. So, did it make me a ton of money? No. But it was worth doing. It was fun. It's variety for the channel. It attracts new viewers. Now, to give you some perspective here, I did an early review of No Man's Sky after 8 hours of gameplay. That has like 45,000 views. And I just released my full review of No Man's Sky, and that after like 2 or 3 days has over 26,000 views and growing. Every day it's getting like 10,000 more views. It's crazy. So, you see what I mean? Because the channel was a new channel, got back into YouTube search results, went viral for one of the videos because I did change my thumbnails, I changed my naming style of videos, it exploded. And now, no, is it mainstream popular? Fuck no. It's hilarious because I hear people comparing me, wow, Phil's reviews are just as good or better than Angry Joe's. And I'm like, I'm glad that you think that. I really am, because there's no way I'm anywhere close to getting any kind of viewership like that anytime fucking soon, that's for sure. Just so you know, because of what YouTube did to their website in late 2012 and then subsequently in 2013, 2014, where they changed all the site metrics, it's incredibly difficult for a new channel to get noticed at all. I am so lucky that the YouTube search algorithm picked up my video on Homefront: The Revolution and gave me the boost that I needed, because if it didn't, this channel might have just gone into oblivion. But I lucked out. Thank goodness I stuck at it. I listened to those who gave me good advice. I said, Phil, please doing it. Please keep working on these videos. It's going to pay off. It did. Big time. So, to give you perspective, February and March, like nothing. KO Gaming was like doing no kind of traffic, and I wasn't getting anything outside of maybe 5,000 subscribers. You know, my main viewer base, I wasn't getting anything. Then all of a sudden, in April, it went up a little bit. In May, it started to go up pretty decently because you had games like Uncharted and Doom, and I was reviewing Dark Souls 3. And then when Homefront: The Revolution, it went a rocket in its fucking ass, and it shot up to fucking Pluto, okay? And then the viral popularity after around 3 weeks died down. Okay, let's be realists here. I knew that that one video wasn't going to fucking keep me popular forever. And so it started going down and down. And then I made a review about Mirror's Edge Catalyst, another game That's been a long time since the original. This was supposed to be a reboot or slash sequel, whatever you want to call it. And it really wasn't a very good game. And that review almost has, at this point, has over 90,000 views. I'm not sure how many it has right now. But tons of views. So again, the channel got another boost from that. That one showed up kind of in YouTube rankings, right? And then, quite honestly, there wasn't a lot going on in the months of, you know, late June, July, and August. So it kind of went, for the past few months. But now with No Man's Sky, it's going up. Just the past few days, I've gotten like 500 new subscribers, and the views are doing good again. So it seems to me KO Gaming is going to do well, just like DSP Gaming. If there's a hot new game out and people really want to hear my opinion on it, but they're not the kind of people to sit there and watch my raw stream or my raw gameplay videos, they're going to go to KO Gaming and they're going to watch that new edited stuff. And by the way, and this is something really cool that I've noticed about KO Gaming, alright? The people there, for the most part, don't know anything about the bullshit and negativity that surrounded me on YouTube. They don't know about DSP Gaming and Dark Side Phil, and this is how you don't play. And they don't know anything about that. They're just there genuinely to watch someone give an honest opinion about a game, and they appreciate that I do that, and that I put so much detail and information into my reviews. And it's not just about, oh, here's comedy and whatever. No, it's a serious fucking review that's going to tell you whether or not to buy the game or not. So, I like that. People are now judging my content on its own merits rather than a preconceived notion about that the content is bad, and that's a good fucking thing, okay? So what I think is going to happen with KO Gaming is, if there's a game that people have no idea or they're on the fence on, they're going to come to me to watch my review. If there's a game that's super popular and everyone seems to be positively saying is good, the videos will do okay, but they're not going to go be great, okay? But if there's a game that ends up being, like, really shitty, people seem to like my reviews. Now, I want you to understand something. Just because I know that negativity sells on YouTube, and because I know that if I make an overly negative review versus a positive review, that it'll get more views, I'm not going to purposely do overly negative reviews. If I play a game and I feel that it does have positives and negatives, I'm going to weigh and balance them fairly. That's what I respect. I pride myself on that kind of honesty with you. If every video I put out on KO Gaming was about negative shit, shitting on every game to get views, why the fuck would you want to come back, right? The bottom line is, I'd get more views. I know I would. Kids would come in, oh, it's so funny to hear him make fun and rip a new asshole to this game developer. But that's not what I do. I want to do something that's informative and truthful for you, alright? So that's what KO Gaming is all about. And overall, it's working. The formula is working. And what I'm thinking is, because we're about to enter the heavy gameplay season of the year, and now I've got these new people watching my stuff when I'm reviewing games such as Deus Ex, when I'm reviewing Attack on Titan, King of Fighters 14, with some of the newer games coming out that people are probably on the fence about, right? Games like Recore, games like Mafia 3, which a lot of people saw the trailer and like, it doesn't look like Mafia 1 or 2. Perfect opportunity, right, for my review to take off on stuff like that. Oh my god, PlayStation VR. I'm getting PlayStation VR on launch day. I'm covering it on DSP Gaming gameplay-wise, but then I'm going to do edited content for it on KO Gaming. I think that's going to be fucking great. People loved when I covered the new consoles. They absolutely loved when I covered Xbox One, PS4. They loved when I covered the Wii U launch. They loved when I covered the fucking PS Move bullshit and all that. All that. So I think this is going to be the prime opportunity for me to do that kind of coverage for you. It's going to be interesting, to say the least, okay? So, that's the deal. KO Gaming started out real bad, spike when it went viral, and now it's kind of like this. It goes up and down, depending on, you know, what's going on currently with videos and stuff. But it's gonna do that depending exactly on what games are out, okay? So now you know about what changes I made during this year, and you know kind of performance-wise what's been going on. Where am I right now, alright? Financially. And then I'm going to talk about the future. Financially right now, things are still kind of tight, but they're not awful, alright? Let me explain. Between the money that I make from my 3 YouTube channels, you know, King of Hate Vlogs, this channel makes the least by far. It makes almost nothing. A couple $100 a month tops. So this is kind of like, is it a main focus? No, but it's still the channel that I like doing a lot because I get to make videos like this and share information with you, okay? So this channel's not going anywhere, even though it's not groundbreakingly popular. It's pretty much the least performing, alright? DSP Gaming, it's kind of been like this, alright? Started out real bad, then went up and down, and I gotta see, this is really the first year that I have this new contract, so I have to really see late now, we're hitting these months where advertisement revenue on YouTube is gonna go up. Am I gonna see a giant effing spike? Right, go through the roof. And by the way, no, that's not sweat. This is deodorant stain. This t-shirt has deodorant stains on it. And other people say, ew, he's sweating. Look, it's not. It's actually dry. It's from my deodorant, okay? Relax. I know people are gross with these kind of videos. Anyway, I get the feeling, will I see a giant spike at the end of the year? I don't know. I might not, okay? KO Gaming is actually bringing in some great supplementary income, all right? Income that I didn't count on. And Patreon, all right? Patreon has been doing pretty good this year. Unfortunately, we hit a roadblock in July, and I do want to talk about that a little bit because it actually did hurt me, all right? Every month that I've done Patreon since the inception in February 2015, I've hit a financing goal of $1,250 a month. Now, do I actually get $1,250 a month? Hell no. Out of that amount, Patreon takes a chunk for processing fees, for their fee, for everything. So probably a month, after all intents and purposes and all the declined pledges or whatever, I'm seeing anywhere around maybe $1,000, maybe a little bit more than that from Patreon. Now, that's nothing to fucking, you know, write off. I mean, that's a lot of money. I understand that. And that has allowed me, with the big dip in income that I had in particular this year, if I didn't have Patreon support, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I wouldn't be able to pay my bills, all right? The bottom line is, this is truth. Those months last year, those copyright strikes, took so much money out of my pocket and fucked me over because I had taxes due and stuff, and I didn't have the money to pay it now because all that money that I would have made on YouTube disappeared. I took out loans, I racked up credit cards, and it's going to take me years to pay it off. And some people think, oh, but Phil, what are you talking about? You know, your revenue went down a little bit for a few months. Wrong. My revenue is always down forever now. Because DSP Gaming will never show up in search like it used to. It will never get back its spot. So even though I could put in just as much work and do just as entertaining playthroughs, they will always get less views now because of the bullshit last year. So no matter what, I'm always going to be making less money because of what happened in 2015. That's just something I have to live with. Okay? So people, oh, I don't understand, only a couple of months were affected, and he says he's going to be doing this for... No, I'm always going to be making less money, and the bottom line is all this money that I had to, you know, loans and credit cards and stuff, I have to pay it off. It doesn't just go away because I put it on there. Now I have to slowly find a way to pay it off, and I'm not massively finding chunks of money, right? No one just donated $20,000 so I could pay off a fucking loan, so it's not going to happen, okay? You know what I mean? Like, I'm stuck financially. Now, the good news is, because of the positivity of KO Gaming, I have made a little bit extra than what I was expecting to make. So I actually was able, for example, to save up a little bit of money and go on this mini vacation to Seattle that we just did last month in July. We have not been on a real, and when I say we, it's my girlfriend and I, Leanna. We have not been on a real vacation or actually spent any real significant time together since we moved here. And I know you said, but you live with her. Yeah, but honestly, I mean, I say for a little bit in the morning, and then I work all day, right? I see her for dinner, and then I work at night, all night, and I see her for 1 or 2 hours before I go to sleep. We can't go out and do fun stuff, right? It's actually difficult. We get 1 day a week where we go out and do anything together, like go to dinner or whatever. Every other day is just like we're stuck here because I'm working constantly. So, because of that, we're like stir crazy. We want to do something fun. We're hoping, fingers crossed, arms crossed, if things keep going well this year like they've been going, that I can save up a little bit of money. And she can save up a little bit of money because she now has her own job. You know, she not only does she have her own soap business that she owns and operates, which is fucking amazing that she can handle that responsibility. She's also she's doing another job on the side. She's got 2 jobs basically. Between all our income, we're going to try to save some money. And next year, we really want to go on vacation to somewhere like California, where we can go do a really touristy thing, see the Walk of Fame, go to Universal Studios, maybe Disneyland. You know, something that we haven't been able to do in so effing long because of all the nonsense and stuff going on with YouTube and all of that and all the financial work. We just want that to melt away for a fucking week and be able to have some fun together as a couple. So that's kind of like my long view for plans of money and everything. What I'd like to do is keep plugging away the way that I'm doing now, hopefully continue to be able to pay my bills, all right, and be able to maybe do something fun and different outside of just doing fucking gaming every single day, like any reasonable human should expect, right? Every reasonable human gets vacation days and stuff. I don't, because I own my own business. It's a lot different. I'd like to be able to do that at some point next year. If it were, we'll have to see if it happens, because you know what, bottom line is, more bullshit could always happen with YouTube or whatever, and then it's all off the table again, all right? But, getting back to the subject, Patreon is the reason why I've been able to do this full time. I'm going to be honest with everyone, last month, July, there wasn't a lot going on with games, so no one was really checking out the stuff on DSP Gaming. KO Gaming was way down, and Patreon, for the first time, I didn't hit the monthly goal for Patreon. That's not a good sign, and it makes me nervous, because does that mean that I fucked up? That you know, I didn't do anything that was entertaining, or enough to make people to want to continue to see me do this full. Because understand, Patreon isn't just, oh, I pledged for that month to see what Phil does that month. No! Patreon lets me pay my bills. If I don't hit Patreon goals for like 3 months in a row, I'm going to be in financial trouble. I need that money to pay my bills. So if I don't get it, it's not, oh, well, I don't like the Patreon goal for this month, so Phil doesn't need that money for this month. We don't need to see that as a goal. No, the whole point of Patreon is that I can keep doing this as a job. Like, even if you don't like the goal, I would think that if you support me and you like what I do, you're still gonna pledge, so that way I can keep fucking paying my bills and keep doing YouTube full time, or else that's it. I won't be doing daily streams every day. I won't be putting out gameplay videos every day. All that work I'm putting into KO Gaming is gonna go to nothing, because I'm not gonna have time to work on those videos anymore, because I'm gonna have to go bust my ass probably working 2-3 part-time fucking jobs, because that's all that's available in the United States right now. So that's really where I'm at. Right now, with how things have been going this year, I'm okay financially, but I'm only okay. I'm not great, and I'm not terrible. I'm kind of in the middle. If things stay the way they're going, I'll probably just be okay forever, and I'll probably have this looming debt over my fucking head forever, and I don't know how I'm going to get out of it. If things get better, then I'll probably get out of the debt, and that'll be great, because that's what happened back in the day. I was in a lot of debt, and then I started on YouTube. All of a sudden, I started YouTube as my job. I paid off all my debt. But then I racked it right back up when I moved out here, and then all that shit happened last year that fucked me over, okay? So yeah, that's the deal. Right now I'm okay. I have a little bit of disposable income to spend on stuff. I don't have a ton, so I could do things every once in a while. I'm hoping to save up to maybe go on vacation next year, but I'm hoping things, let's say for the end of this year, these last few months go great, right? So here's my strategy. And hopefully this will answer a lot of questions for people, because this year a lot of people kept bringing up stuff from the past, things that are long gone, and I want to just clarify everything for everyone, all right? This will be the end of the video. This will be my final thoughts. For the rest of 2016 and moving forward, I want to keep my three-pronged plan in effect. I think it's working, okay? I'm certainly not seeing any kind of explosive growth on the King of Hate vlogs, but that's okay. I am seeing DSP Gaming maintain where it is, and KO Gaming is on the rise. So that's a good thing that I've got something that's growing in size on a regular basis. What I'm hoping is that everything will organically work together and continue to work as it is right now. If you want to hear me talk about stuff, you come here to the vlogging channel. If you want to see the raw gameplay, you go to DSP Gaming. And if you want to see the edited stuff, you go to KO Gaming. If I keep this formula up the way it's going, and it continues to be, you know, word of mouth successful like it has been, I think I'll be good. I think that after, say, the end of this year, these next 4 months of the year, where typically people come out in droves to check out the games for the holidays, I think this could be really good. If KO Gaming could blow up even further, maybe have another video go fucking viral, wow, that would be amazing. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but wow, would it be amazing. That would be the time of the year for it to happen, okay? That being said, I'm sticking to that plan. And I want everyone to understand that, because a lot of people have come back to me and said, but Phil, a year ago, you said that eventually you might go back to work on Project 7. Or Phil, didn't you say that you might start traveling again and you'll do conventions? Why don't you go to PAX West and all of that? And Phil, why don't you doing this or that or this? All of that stuff's off the table. It's that simple. Because right now what I'm doing, at least for now, is working. I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing positivity. I can't now distract myself by pulling myself in 100 directions, working on other things. And the bottom line is this. At one point, an edited style series like Project 7 probably would have been very popular on YouTube. That was like 6 to 7 years ago, all right? Before, you had all these guys coming in, right? Oh, we're just the average Joe. But they have all this fucking financial backing, and they're film students, so they have all this know-how on how to make films and shit. And they come in with this giant equipment, and they film these fucking amateur movies that become their YouTube videos, and they play it off like they're just the Joe average, and they just did this in like a day. They're so full of shit. Most of the stuff that you're seeing on YouTube has tremendous amount of time, money, effort, and investment put into it. I don't have any of that. I'm a single guy who plays games and shares his experience with you on YouTube. That's all I've ever been, and that's all I ever really aspired to be. Yeah, it would have been nice if things that I tried to branch out into over the years worked out. They didn't. And that's just a simple fact. And you could live in the past, right? I really wish that Phil would go back to this, or Phil would have still been doing it. That's it. You can't go backwards in time. You can only go forward, right? So I got to focus on the stuff that's working. I got to focus on the stuff that's positive. And right now, this three-tiered, three-pronged focus is working well for me. So I want to stick with it. If anything, the one thing that I do wish is that I wish that I had either more time or maybe more focus on the vlogging, because I think the vlogging was doing a little bit more better for a little bit, and then I kind of went and focused more on KO Gaming, and now KO Gaming is doing better. So it seems like whatever I focus on does better, but I don't have time to do everything at once. That's the problem. If I had unlimited time, you'd see me doing everything, and I can't. I'm one person, okay? So, if you were hoping to see me go to conventions and travel and do, you know, all this stuff like I was doing for a while, sorry, that's off the table for now. I'm too busy here at home with work getting stuff done. If you were hoping to see Project 7 or other edited style content come back, sorry, that's not my focus. And the same thing to people, I say, what about the green screen that you used last year? That was a good idea. I was going to use it for pre-streams. Now that I can't even do fan art and stuff in pre-streams anymore, it's been dead. And since I'm not working on edited content, the green screen's just kind of there, and I'm probably not going to use it anytime in the foreseeable future unless some special event or something comes up, okay? So that's it. I'm focusing on what's working. What's working right now is the formula and KO Gaming in particular on the rise. So, to summarize and finish, how can you help me to continue to be successful and keep this business going on YouTube and keep putting out free content for you on a daily basis? Number one, keep watching the videos and keep spreading the word. Word of mouth is the best way that I have ever gotten my stuff out there on YouTube. I don't pay for advertisements because I can't afford it. I don't collaborate with anyone to get my word, to get anything out there. I'm a one-man show. Always have been. So, that being said, you have to spread the word if you see something that you like from me so people know. I think when I played Until Dawn last year, the reason that playthrough was so popular is because the first few people who watched it were like, holy fuck, this is great. Told a few people, and it just went virally, and it ended up being my most successful playthrough of last year. No lie, it was by far the most successful playthrough I did in 2015 was Until Dawn. That's the kind of stuff that can happen with word of mouth, okay? That's number one. Number two, KO Gaming. Tell someone about it. Say, there's a guy who's doing this really detailed, awesome gameplay reviews and stuff out there. It's just on par with other big YouTubers who are getting millions of views on their fucking videos. They're just as good. Go check it out. If you do that, KO Gaming keeps growing, and it could get to be one of those high-profile YouTube gaming channels. I'll be golden, all right? And that'll be great. Then we don't have to worry about any of this shit anymore, right? And number three, I'll be honest, Patreon, I know it's fallen off. Patreon has fallen off. Last month, it was very disappointing that we didn't hit the goal. And I've tried to stay positive, and now here we are, there's like maybe 10 days left in the month, and we're still like $160 away from the goal, and I'm like, my God, are we going to hit it again now? We're in jeopardy, even though there's more people are showing up for my streams, more people are watching my videos, KO Gaming's taken off. The Patreon support is key. I'm not joking. This isn't like me saying, I need money, money, money. No. This is something that I've needed for the past year and a half to keep doing this. I'm not joking about it. It's very important that I get that funding, so please understand, if that goes away, something might get hurt negatively, all right? I think a lot of people just take it for granted now. Well, that's not a crazy knock-you-out kind of goal this month. I don't need to pledge. I'll wait until there's an amazing goal. $1 a month, ladies and gentlemen. I said it a million times. If you're watching this video will undoubtedly have thousands of views. If 1/3 of the people who watch this video gave me $1 a month on Patreon, I probably would never have to make a fucking video like this again. Because I just said, everything's good. Views, who cares? Everything's good because I have support from the people who want to see me keep doing this. But people think it's a joke or they make fun. Oh, I'm begging for money. Very much the opposite. I love what I do. I pride myself on doing things much differently from many other YouTubers, and I want to keep being able to do it. It's obvious there's an audience out there for it, but we all need to participate in order to keep it going. This isn't one of these things that went viral or has financial backing from a corporation. To keep this going, we all have to take part in it, right? So please consider spreading the word, watching the stuff, Patreon. That's how you can help. All right, everyone? That's it. A long video. A lot was discussed, but I feel it's a very informative video, and I wanted to get it off my chest. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling positive. I'm happier than I was the past few years, and I think that's coming through in a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, and people are seeing that actively, and that's why I'm attracting new audiences and stuff to me, so that's a good thing. And I certainly hope that, again, starting tomorrow, there's brand new games coming out. Hopefully, people will be reinvigorated to check out my stuff, and we can hit the ground running positively, all right? I'm Darkside Phil. As always, thank you very much for watching and paying attention to this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it informative, and I will see you for the hardcore gaming season of 2016 right around the corner. Whether you're watching my vlogs here, my gameplay on DSP Gaming, or my edited stuff on KO Gaming, I hope that you enjoy it and have fun. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you then.